Who's the boxing show that's knocking out the competition? The kick-ass podcast that make you want to listen. The place where boxing fans and fighters rejoice. Thumbs up for Richie. You're listening to The Fighter's Voice.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And I like our guest tonight. We're simply knocking out the competition. Top Rank Boxing, newly signed, ready to make his Top Rank debut in Stockton, California this Saturday, is Ruben Drac Villa. Welcome to the show, Ruben.
Yeah, thank you for having me again, bro.
Hey, man, no problem, man. And, the show must go on. I'm fighting this cold right here, but I got to have you on the show, man, right before that first bell rings.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
How does it feel to be under the tag Top Rank Boxing?
It's an honor. I've been trying to get a deal with these guys since I was out of the amateurs. We weren't always able to, get it done. But now that I'm 19-1, I feel like it's a step forward in my career. And, I'm still trying to get this world title. I'm still on that dream and just chasing it.
One loss is a very valuable learning lesson, is the way I always say things. Because if you look at all the greats, after their first loss, they redeem themselves and they become bigger, stronger, faster, almost like the $6 million man back in the day. How has that loss helped you? And what do you hope to pursue as well as the championship of the world?
Yeah, that loss helped me a lot. It taught me a lot, but, it made me more hungrier. That feeling of losing, nobody wants to feel that. So, if I feel like I'm having a hard time in training, I just remember that feeling and it just motivates me to work harder each and every day. And camp went well. I did 4 weeks in Las Vegas at the Top Rank gym and everything went well. Sparring went well, training, working my ass off every day, bro.
Yeah, the Top Rank gym. A shout out to Frank Estea. What's happening, Frank? I know he's watching tonight's show.
Yep, shout out Frank.
Hey, let's talk about your relationship with one of the hottest promoters out there today, promoter / manager / agent. I mean, this man wears a lot of hats, and I'm talking about Rick Merigian. Talk to us about your relationship with him.
Yeah, if you heard about Rick, he's a go-getter, real great business guy as far as, putting on fights, helping you get far ahead in your career, just all outstanding, just business guy. And, he fits our team and, we're excited to have him. Ever since we've had him, we just keep going up. So, shout out to Rick.
What are those meetings like sitting across the table from him? I mean, what do you discuss? Is it all business? Does he take time to, have a drink of Gatorade, or does he eat during the business meeting, or is it just all business?
No, we've had some business lunch meetings and stuff like that. It's part of the team. You talk about business, you talk about personal things, we talk about our lives, a little bit of everything. It's not like just well, I'm here because you need me, and you're here because you need me. Now we build relationships with everyone on the team, so it's been good having Rick. He's a big part of the team. I wouldn't have got this Top Rank opportunity without him.
Yeah, he stated he's been working on it for a while. Define team, because you say team. I want to know who's on the team. Shout out for your team.
So my boxing team is Max Garcia, Sam Garcia, Kathy Garcia. It's the Garcia family. My dad's on the team. He was in my corner for the first time my last fight. We have Dean Familton. Just everyone who's a part of my boxing gym, my boxing team. It's just a real big family. It's not even really a team. We see each other every day. We get on each other's nerves. It's really like a real family. So, I'm with them every day. I see them every day, and it's just all love. And we all have that same goal, which is moving me forward and pushing me to get better each and every day. And truly, I would not be here without them. I may have to fight and do all the hard work, but I'm nothing without these people on my side.
Well, make some room on your team for your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice.
Yes,
man.
sir.
I remember covering you in a Thompson card, and I remember after the fight, and I told you there was so many similarities to you and Bam Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were using angles that night that I've never seen you use before. And I said to this day, that's probably one of your best outings that I got to see you in.
Yes, sir. I've been in the gym around Bam at Robert Garcia's gym. He's a great fighter. You see what he's done the last year or so. So him and his brother are great people, great friends. Yeah, I try to take a little bit off of everybody as far as like boxing. I watch a lot of boxing. I was just watching a Lomachenko fight right now. So the angles is a big part of us that makes us different, and get hit. I mean, you hit and don't get hit, so create those angles, and it makes my job way much easier.
There's a fighter that's on your card. He once told me that I covered his one of his last fights, and I said, "Hey, great performance." And he said, "I said you didn't even get hit that much." And he said, "Well, that's the name of the game, right? To hit, not get hit." And I'm talking about Gabriel Flores Jr., who is back in Stockton, California, also on the card.
Yeah, the card is stacked, man.
It is.
Of course, Rick put it together, bro. So it's gonna be stacked. We're just gonna see who's gonna steal the show. It's gonna be a good one.
You know what? That card is stacked, but I will say this, and I always keep it 100. Can you imagine of Stockton's own? I don't want to give him the hashtag bad boy. He's just, Kilo the Kid Madera and also Hector Madera.
Mhm.
I mean, those are some ticket sellers, man. If they were on that card, man, I can just see it's just an explosion. And why stop there? If Nate Diaz didn't have that outing with Jake Paul, which is a big fight,
Mhm.
I would love to see Nate Diaz make his professional debut under a top ranked boxing card. How does that sound?
It sounds perfect, like you said, in Stockton. With those three guys, they bring a lot of people to their fights. I know Kilo and Hector, obviously, since I was a young amateur. So I always see them and knew of them or heard about them. And yeah, as far as like bringing a fight to Stockton with those three guys on the card and Gabriel Flores, that'd be crazy.
It would be crazy. And, also in your hometown, I know you hope to bring professional boxing to your hometown as well. And, that's right around the corner. That's Salinas, California, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. We're about 2 hours away from here.
Tell us about your upbringing, man, and what made you chase the sport of boxing.
Yeah, I mean, when I turned 5 years old, my dad took me to the boxing gym, and then just never looked back since then. I like the competitiveness of it and not being on a team. I just felt like it took the most out of me compared to other sports and stuff like that. So, bringing a fight to Salinas now on a top rank card would be crazy. We do have a lot of young and up and coming guys. Uh, from Salinas. So I mean, why not in the future? If I perform great this weekend, when I perform great this weekend, I got to put that in Bob's ear.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, speaking of that, the man himself, what was it like meeting Bob Arum? I saw that sit down you had with him, and also you took a picture next to the great Muhammad Ali. He had it on his wall.
Yeah, they gave
What was it like meeting Bob Arum?
yeah they gave us a little tour around the Top Rank facility. It's beautiful, beautiful place. A lot of like historical things in there, signed boxing gloves, just the old stuff you would never even. And it's worthless, it's priceless. So I went in there, just talked to Bob for about 15 minutes. Great guy. Just thanked him for the opportunity of signing me and finally getting this deal done. And I'm truly grateful to be with the Top Rank family now, and to pay them back. I want to show them that they didn't just sign another guy. I want to be one of the top guys and bring another belt to the Top Rank team.
Well, I mean, Top Rank has, if not a lot, probably the most Hall of Famers there. I mean, your matchmaker, Brad Goodman, Hall of Famer, man.
Mhm.
So you have somebody in the business that knows exactly what he's doing and knows how to match you up 100%.
Exactly. I've been with them, I would say, about 2 months, and I've already seen the differences, and seen and understand why they're who they are and the reputation they have. They're just the best in boxing.
Absolutely. Their marketing is through the roof, I would say.
Yes, sir.
What I do think is they also have some room for, let me see, Top Rank Radio featuring the fighter's voice. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing, man. You got to get that to Rick and let him do his work.
Yeah, man. I just thought I'll throw it out there. It just happened on the fly, so to speak. Speaking of happen on the fly, man, I mean, what are we looking for once that first bell rings? Are we going to see angles, unorthodox, right-handed, left-handed? Are we going to see the best Drac in the ring?
Yes, sir. It's funny that you bring that up. So a few months ago, my one of my buddies in the gym, he just turned pro. He's now 2-0, but he needed a right hander, so I went right handed for him for the camp. So I've been working on a lot of just new things. Of course, I always hated my angles and the the vintage Ruben Villa. But I've been working on some things that are just a little different to bring to the table to set me a little bit more different. So I'm just excited to show every tool I got. I could box. I felt like I could be aggressive more, throw more haymakers. But as far as we're gonna follow the game plan first, the first few rounds fill them out, and then from there go straight to work.
Hey, what can we expect on that ring walk? Can you tip your hat a little bit, or is it going to be something to look forward to, or a surprise to everybody?
This one's not too crazy, just because it's an 8 round fight. It's my first fight with Top Rank, so I'm gonna take it easy, tone it down a little bit for the first one, and then the next one, when I'm co-main event or main event, I'm gonna have to bring it right back up.
There you go. Last week we had Floyd Cash Flow Diaz on the show, and he loves to make a statement once he walks into the ring. And of course, Big Baby also likes to make his appearance known once he has that ring walk. And now everybody gets to see Drac make that ring walk very soon. Talk to us that don't know exactly, how did you get the nickname Drac?
Yeah, so when I was already boxing, I was probably like 7, 6 maybe. I
Yeah.
went to the dentist for just a regular cleanup, and I guess my two front teeth were supposedly loose, and that it was dangerous for them to do it. So they pulled them out, both of them, without my mom's consent, and it was like a
Oh wow.
traumatizing event that happened in my life. I hate the dentist now, bro. I cannot go to the so they pulled the two front teeth out, and for years, 3 or 4 years, those teeth never came out, and I just had the fangs right here. So they started calling me Dracula at the gym. It was a little embarrassing at the time, but then as I grew older, then they started like making names, as far as like, oh, they call you Dracula because you make everybody bleed, or just the name started growing,
Sure.
and yeah, that's why they call me Dracula, and it's stuck, man. I'm still Dracula, and the good thing is, you never heard a boxer name nicknamed Dracula. You always hear the Punisher or just some other stuff like that. So Dracula really is different, and it sets me apart.
Well, exactly. And I bet your ring walk, the beginning has to be almost like the Undertaker or something real gory or something, man. And then just jump into your music, whether it's English, Spanish, rap, or what have you. But you got to have that someday, man. I mean,
Yeah, it got to be a little
you can
dark,
come up with a
right?
lot of ideas.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know what? Talking about a lot of ideas and coming up with something, man. I mean, who's going to come up with a victory next week when we got Devin Haney taking on Lomachenko?
That's a good fight. I don't really have a prediction because I feel like I really don't know who's gonna win that fight. Loma's obviously a bad boy, and I really want to see how he's able to break down Devin as far as his size. He's way bigger than Devin, especially probably after they weigh in and fight night comes. We'll see how much bigger he is, but you can't count Loma out, bro. He's always dangerous to be fighting, and he has the experience to go with him.
Yeah, that is going to be a very close fight. It's going to be an entertaining fight. And as they say, styles make fights. I just don't want Loma to give away too many rounds. He needs to, the key is he needs to get inside and work inside. And I believe give him the angles to allow him to get inside. And, Devin just got to keep him back with that stick. He keeps that stick on him all day. He's going to keep him at bay until that right hand lands. And he's fast enough to predict exactly where Loma's moving. I mean, nobody knows exactly how he moves, but one of the highest boxing IQs, even though at a young age, is Devin Haney.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, if Loma starts slow, all the fights that he lost, he started slow, and
Yeah.
he cannot do that. He got to start round 2, 3, because
Yeah.
Devin Haney's not gonna allow him to work slow going at a slow pace. It has to be at Loma's pace in order for him to get a win, and a clear win. He needs to win clearly.
Well, and then later on in June, you're going to have, the undefeated 140-pound king there, undisputed. I still call him undisputed because I don't believe you lose bouts outside of the ring because of politics or because of sanctioning bodies. They earned it in the ring. They should lose it in the ring. And Josh Taylor hasn't lost a professional fight. And he's taking on Teofimo Lopez in New York. What are your thoughts about that matchup, and who do you have victorious?
That's another good one. I went to see the Taylor and Ramirez fight. It was a great fight to watch. I got to see it live. Obviously, I was rooting for Jose Ramirez to win, but
Yes.
you know, Josh Taylor's a bad man. Man, he could fight. He's a great lefty. He did everything he needed to do to win. And Teofimo also is a great fighter. We just got to see which Teofimo brings, which one comes to the ring, and I'm just excited to see that one. For a winner, I don't know, bro. These all these good fights are coming up, and I'm just excited to see them. I'm glad I'm a boxing fan too, bro.
Exactly. I mean, once you want to say Taylor, takes it very easily is the day that Teofimo has his knockout fight of the evening and becomes the true natural 140 pounder that he's been wanting to become. I don't think weight has anything to do with it. He's had some personal things, but as a professional fighter, you got to try as best you can to put him aside. He's had a bad outing his last fight, and so did Josh Taylor. So I think it's an even matchup. I got to say, Josh Taylor is the stronger of the two, and just the way he gets off the stick and his southpaw and that sneaky uppercut inside. Look for the referee to break them clean. And Teofimo needs to learn something off that Ramirez fight and also off Regis Pro Gray. Because if you notice, Josh Taylor off the break, he likes to hit off the break,
Yeah,
and he's going to continue to get away with it until the referee takes command. And you can never count Theo out. I mean, if you catch one of those at the end of the punch, it's good night.
yeah, for sure. That's how he caught Jose Ramirez, right? When he snuck that uppercut. Yeah, like you say, it could be known as a dirty tactic, but as long as the ref don't see and protect yourself at all times, bro.
Protect yourself at all time and take every inch they give you until they do something about it.
Hmm.
Until they do something about it, man, it's a fight.
Exactly.
And there's rules there. There is a governing body, and I believe I wear one, then you wear one too.
Hmm.
A low blow, you hit me low, I'm going to hit you low right back, and now we're even.
Exactly.
So whatever wakes up the referee to do his job. And a lot of times, because of the angle of the event, he doesn't see everything, but he'll see it and give him time to make up for that call, just like in baseball.
Yep. Yes, sir. I agree.
Now, I want to talk a little bit more about your card. Also, making his top ranked debut is Amado Vargas.
Hmm.
By way of Marv Nation, his father, and I know, I believe Gabe Flores Sr. will also be working the corner along with Fernando Vargas Sr.
Yeah, it's a good one. That one was it was a late one, right? They just announced it like 2 weeks ago or so.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I seen them at the Top Rank Gym a couple of times. I seen him got to get some work in. Yeah, he's another great fighter to be on the card. It just brings more eyes with his last name, the legacy of their family. All the
Yes.
brothers are fighting, and it's good for boxing. It just brings more eyes to the sport, and more seats be sold. And yeah, everything, the whole card is stacked, and people cannot miss this card because it's truly a good one.
I tell you, those kids aren't just holding the name; they have that same DNA.
Hmm.
But there's only one ferocious Fernando Vargas. I mean,
Yeah,
I tell you, I got to see this guy fight. He brought it each and every time, man. I mean, I told him that. I put him up in the likes of Julio Cesar Chavez only because of he dared himself to be great. He took on the likes of Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Oba Carr, and you name it. He was in their grill, man. And he just, the way he took Obakar, when he fought Obakar was known for his jab, like a piston like jab. And Fernando took it away. He took it away by establishing his jab early in the fight and never looked back. So props and salutes to Pops, man, Fernando Vargas Sr. And I know he still has some in the tank, man. I'd like to see him in an exhibition, maybe with Oscar De La Hoya or, you know, maybe even Robert Garcia, a nice exhibition match.
that'd be a good one, bro.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
he still has them. And, I gave him a man hug one time and go, how you doing, Fernando? And brother, it was like hugging a brick wall. I mean, the dude is solid.
yeah.
Speaking of solid, man, Jose Ramirez had a solid outing his last fight in Fresno, California. And his I don't want to say rival because they really haven't sat down and fought each other, but the world needs to see this fight. And I'm talking about with either Regis Pro Gray or run it back with Josh Taylor. If you were Jose Ramirez, his advisor, if you was his manager, which fight would you take? Would you take the rematch with Josh Taylor, or would you take the long-awaited bout with Regis Pro Gray?
Yeah, his last fight, he looked really good. He came out aggressive like he always does. He seems like that loss really motivated him and made him hungrier again. Um, I think I would want him to get that rematch back. You know, it was a good fight. Besides those two knockdowns, he was in the fight most of it, and I like to see him get that rematch. I feel like him and the Rougarou just been just yapping and yapping, and he just signed to go with the zone. So that fight doesn't seem as easy to make compared to the Josh Taylor fight. So I think it'd be another good Josh Taylor fight.
There you go. There you go. And I want to say what's up to Regis. Made a bold move. I don't knock him for that. I believe that they do got a good relationship with the zone to work together with Top Rank Boxing, and I truly believe we'll see Regis in there with the likes of Teofimo, possibly Jose, or he may just run it back with Josh Taylor. The we got to wait on the result. But Regis went where hey, where the money's at, but also where the power is at, because he now has a network behind him. He now has a management team behind him. And all he wanted to do was really defend in New Orleans. And every time that was brought up, that was shot down. But now with Eddie Hearn, his first defense is in New Orleans. And it kind of leaves Arnold Barboza out in the cold,
Mhm.
because he was supposed to face the opponent that Regis is now facing
Yeah.
for his belt. And Arnold Barboza tweeted recently, hey, any boxing outlet, get a hold of me, because I got a lot to spill. And to be honest with you, I did reach out to him. I didn't hear back from him, but he knows this is a platform designed exactly for the Arnold Barbozas, for the news to be spilled out, because we don't hold back here. We don't say, okay, you cannot say this or you can't do that. This platform is for the people, and it's for the fighters, because every fighter has a voice, and so does Ruben. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be coming right back. And when we come back, we're going to get his prediction on a big heavyweight fight that has yet to be announced, but I'm going to throw some names at him. Remember, I'm Richard Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice, and we'll be coming right back.
We're back, baby.
Hi, I'm China Riva, and I am with The Fighter's Voice.
The Fighter's Voice.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm your host, and I'm back, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice. And I want to offer an opportunity to the sponsors out there. If you want to be part of the team, if you want to sponsor an outlet, if you want to sponsor a program, if you want to sponsor the Fighter's Voice podcast, get a hold of us at www.youtube.com/The Fighter's Voice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. You can email me at thefightersvoice@gmail.com for all your sponsors, for all your segments, and all your publicity needs. Get a hold of Rich Ortiz, your host of The Fighter's Voice. Listen, before we took the break, I said we were going to talk about a possible heavyweight matchup, and I want your take on this. We're hearing now that Tyson Fury may take on Andy Ruiz Jr. First of all, tell us about that matchup. Is it good for boxing? And who do you have winning that fight?
For sure. Anytime Andy Ruiz fights, he has a strong Mexican following. So obviously he brings a lot of people to the show. And obviously Tyson Fury, in my eyes, the best heavyweight in the world. That fight will be great.
Hands down.
They're totally opposite fighters. One's huge and is a great boxer, and one's small but has the speed like a bullet, man. So that fight will be great for boxing, and like I said, I'm a fan, so I would love to see that fight and see who could pull it off. And I think it would just be who want it more. And I don't know. I might have to go Tyson Fury, bro. Just I'm a big Tyson Fury fan. He always comes to fight, and even when he gets knocked down, you think he's out of the fight or you think he's done, but he has always a second heart or a second win that brings him back.
Hey, I think you broke it down perfectly, man. I got no more comment on that, because that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm just waiting for them to make the official announcement. I've been sitting back and waiting for, a Bud Crawford and Spence. And, I kind of gave up on that one already. I've seen posters that people have put out already, but there hasn't been any announcement. Let's take it back a little further. What did you think of Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia? What did you think about the hype? What did you think about the matchup and overall the decision?
It was great for boxing. Two young guys at their prime, fighting and putting everything on the line. Someone's had to go, and it was Ryan's that night. I felt like Tank had a beautiful game plan, executed it well, didn't panic in the first round or two. He just knew Ryan was gonna make that mistake, and eventually he did, and he caught him when he did, and it was just a great outing for Tank. Yeah, I mean it was a great event to watch as far as the weigh-ins and just seeing people loving boxing again, and it was just great for the sport.
I agree with you. Do you think Joe Goosen at all made any difference at all being in the corner?
Mm, I'm not too sure. It's not even
Keep it 100, brother.
the corner. You got to make those changes in training camp, and it just looked like Ryan was just too green, and he pushed it a little too hard as far as the first round when he was hitting Tank, but everything was just hitting the hands or the gloves, and he just he pushed it too much. He should have just calmed it down a little bit, felt him Tank out a little more, and adjusted from there. But Tank is obviously a smart fighter, strong fighter, and he just knew Ryan was going to do it to himself.
How important is it for a fighter to listen to his corner? And how important is it for a fighter to trust his corner?
Trust is everything as far as the corner, and if my corner tells me to do something, it's because they see something that I don't, or they want me to adjust a certain way so that I don't get caught with something that they see, and the corner is the second eye that you don't see. So my corner is everything to me, and you got to listen, especially when you don't listen and you're getting yelled at. You're not doing something right. So I don't like getting yelled at. So I try to keep me listening to them as much as I can. It just makes my job easier. It makes their job easier, and that's how we get the victory.
Listen, I'm going to put another hat back on you. You're now an advisor. You're now the management. You're part of the management team for Ryan Garcia. Who do you seek for a trainer? What's his best fit? And what do you think? What changes do you think need to be made in the corner of Ryan Garcia?
Um, I'm not too sure as far as like a trainer. Maybe someone like Robert Garcia, or someone who's gonna fit his style of boxing, or just correct him a little bit on the things he did wrong. Only he knows what he did, and it's hard to say because I'm a fighter and I don't want to you know talk down or nothing like that. I just everyone knows what they need to fix up or work on. I when training camp, I'm always trying to fix on the things that I need to work on, and it's very important so that when fight night comes, you have no second guess, and you're ready. For this fight, I don't feel like I've been nervous or nothing because I know all the training, all the hard work was done already. So, I'm just ready to perform and fight already.
I'm looking forward to the title shot on the fight card, and that's Jason Maloney. He's chasing the bantamweight WBO title. He was recently on the show, and he just said, "Richard, I'm gonna leave everything inside of the ring," and he's worked so hard to get the second opportunity. And what do you think about the Maloney brothers as a whole? And what do you think about Jason Maloney's chance at becoming a world champion?
He has a very good chance. We got to see them at the Top Rank gym. They were there. They got there when we did. So, we got to be around them a little bit. Great group of guys. The coaches are all nice. I seen how hard they work in sparring. I see how hard they work on the bags and just how much they dedicate themselves to their craft. So, I can see both of them winning because his brother fights the weekend after. So I'm pretty sure they're going to take another bout
Andrew.
to Australia. So, rooting for those guys, and just can't wait to see how much hard work they put in the gym is going to be shown on the fight night.
Fight night, man. It's like you said, it's going to be stacked, man. I mean, you got Amado Vargas. A lot of people get their opportunity to see the DNA of Fernando Ferocious Vargas Sr. inside of his son inside of the ring. You got Ruben Drac Villa back in stable, back in the ring. Once that bell rings, I know you're going to be giving them your angles and showing everybody your improvement since that Al and the new improved Drac. And then you got, Stockton's own Gabe Flores Jr. back in action, the long-awaited return, now at a higher weight, I believe, and now that he's sitting down on his punches, a new face in his corner as well. And then you got Jason Maloney, man. I mean, all the way down from Australia. Top Rank's own Rick Meridian, the whole team, the whole camp, putting it together, man. If nobody is there live in person, man, they got to watch it live on ESPN. But I suggest you drive your ass to the arena, get there, watch it live, man, because it's nonstop. I know PBC got also a title bout with Rolly Romero back in the ring chasing another belt, but you can't go wrong on this card. I'm talking about the card entirely from start to finish, man. When you hear that, knowing that you're on a stat card, how does that make you feel as a fighter? How does that make you feel as a fan, like you said, because you are a fan? And how does that make you feel of a student, because you are a student of the game?
Yeah, honestly, it really motivates me to want to do better, and giving the people a great show, is one of the things that we all work hard for. And I'm glad I'm the third fight for this fight. I'm glad because I get to go in, get my job done, and then come back out and watch the rest of the fights. I'm really truly excited to see how everyone does, and just soak up all the top rank. How they put their show together, and just being a part of the show has all been a great experience for me.
Well, I want to make sure I get those post-fight interviews, man. So, Evan, if you're watching, man, we got to make that happen. Rick Morigan, if you're watching, we got to make that happen. I want to get that post-fight interview with Amado Vargas, with Ruben Drag Villa, and also Jason Maloney and Stockton's own Gabe Flores, man. I want to get that post-fight interview, man, with that content that I need, and we can blast it here on the Fighter's Voice platform, man. Ruben, I know you got some small adjustments to make. I think you got about 1.5 pounds to shed, and I don't want to stand in your way, man. I want to help you. So I'm willing to cut this short tonight, man, but I want to ask you this. How do we support you? How do we follow you? How do we find Ruben Drag Villa?
Yeah, I'm RV4 on Instagram and Twitter. And as far as supporting me, come buy your tickets. Watch it on ESPN Plus Saturday. And, you're in for a hell of a show. The whole card is going to be great. And, I can't wait to perform on my top ranked debut and, kick some ass.
Hey, man, what's the hottest podcast out there, Ruben?
I'm on it, man. The Fighter's Voice, bro.
The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. I want to thank our guest, Ruben Drag Villa. And as always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Okay, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week.
Remember,
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, and all the crew, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.